Labas na ako.
Yan guys.
Okay. Let's go! Hep, hep, hooray! Perfect!
Okay, ayun, line na lang ulit tayo sa labas. Tapos, tayo na ulit yung deck.
Excuse me. B.
CR lahat.
Wala ka nandun. Ay, sorry po.
Anyway, my name is Kuya Jomar. I'm with Ate Tim, tapos Ate Tisha, and Ate Veron. So we will be your tour guide for today. But anyway, sobrang saya namin na makita yung mga kayo, especially sa office, kasi bihira na lang yung mga bata na interesado sa dyaryo. Ang gagawin natin today is magkakaroon tayo ng konting lecture about the history of the Philippine Star. Actually, it's a short video lang pertaining to the history of the Philippine Star, tapos history of the newspaper, tapos bibigyan namin kayo ng konting idea on how to battle misinformation, especially ngayong digital age kung saan sobrang rampant ng misinformation. Okay, let's all watch this first. Wait lang, walang sounds.
And we're soon out in the streets. And by that I mean, oh hi, do you?
Okay, let's all watch this. It's a short video lang how Philippine Story started.
Oh hi, do you know how that newspaper started? Let's rewind, shall we? The aftermath of the People Power Revolution sparked a wave of democracy, inspiring many journalists and visionaries to join the game, just like this trio over here. After Betty Belmonte and Max Event left a news publication they once started together, they regrouped with Art Warhol and were soon out in the streets. And by that I mean, literally. Soon enough, the amazing trio founded the Philippine Star and hard launched its very first issue on July 28, 1986. That's why we celebrate it every year. Pretty cool, huh? Going back, Belmonte, Sullivan, and Warhol believed that it was their mission to deliver news, empower people, and shape the nation. A newspaper where truth prevails. Alright, now let's talk about some of the cool stuff they did first. Did you know that the Philippine Star is the pioneer of color printing newspapers in the Philippines? Yep, that's right. It's the first newspaper to splash color in its pages. While everyone else was stuck with black and white, Star's founders knew color was the future, and they made it happen. They also made sure every section is fun to read on its own. Lifestyle, business, sports, entertainment. You name it, they nailed it. While other papers were still doing it old school, the Philippine Star changed the game. And guess what? Everyone else followed their lead. And oh, that's not all, because now they've become bigger than ever, with a lineup of unique publications, each with its own voice and audience. Of course, they didn't stop at print, because now they're digital too, connecting the titles to the community and to you. No matter where you are or how far, you can always find truth within the pages of the Star. Oh, and guess what? In 2023, they leveled up and moved to a brand new office in Sucat, Parañaque. A fresh space for fresh ideas, ensuring that we keep growing and evolving to serve you better. A story fueled by passion and a bold vision, amplifying the sound of the voiceless, offering hope to the hopeless, and bringing insight to the curious minds it reaches. So now, do you know how that newspaper started? Of course, it started with truth. Oh, hi!
Okay, again, welcome to the Philippine Star. So as you can see in front of you, that's our logo. Underneath of it is yung mantra namin, yung truth shall prevail. So, yan yung araw-araw namin binibigay sa bawat mamamayang Pilipino, araw-araw namin ipinapamuhay dito sa office. That is the blood and butter of this company. Kaya nag-exist yung company na to kasi dahil merong katotohanan na kailangan i-deliver sa bawat mamamayang Pilipino. And I'll be giving you some quick facts about the history of the newspaper. So, as you can see in front of you, that is the first newspaper na ginamit ng ancient Roman. So, ang pangalan niya is Acta Diurna. So, yung Acta Diurna is kapirasong metal lang siya or stone na ang ginagawa during that time is ini-engrave lang yung mga important events such as birth dates, deaths, or even the gladiator. Then they just going to post it into a heavy foot traffic area such as simbahan, public market, or even sa mga parks. So, yan yung itsura ng Acta Diurna. So, imagine that. Mas maganda pa yung lapid na dyan. And konti lang yung information na mailalagay nyo dyan. Imagine yung parang room for errors kapag ginagawa nila yung newspaper na yan. Tapos onting-onti lang talaga yung i-dismantle nila na info. So, moving forward, year 1440, Johannes Gutenberg established the basic of printing press. Tapos, noong 1454 naman, na-commercialize yung printing press. So, familiar ba kayo sa printing press? Okay. So, yung printing press actually marked the history of information kasi nagkaroon na ng development. So, as you can see, yung mga libro, naging available siya for all. Sino dito yung nanonood ng K-drama? Diba dun sa mga historical Korean novela na pinapanood natin, kung mapapansin nyo, yung may access lang sa libro is mostly yung mga anak ng king, yung mga anak ng ministers, yung mga nasa parang mayayaman na sector ng lipunan. So sila lang yung may kakayahan. Pero since Johannes Gutenberg established the printing press, yung libro ay naging available in all walks of life. Naging available siya kahit sa mga ordinary tao. And aside to that, dahil available na yung libro, schools also had been democratized during ancient time. So yung schools, naging available siya sa mga ordinaryong tao lang. Kasi if we're going back to the history again, makikita natin na yung mga may kakayahang mag-aral is yung mga nasa government lang, sa simbahan, mga anak ng mayayaman. So sila lang yung nakakapagtapos ng pag-aaral. Pero because printing press has established, schools became democratized to everyone. And also, yung printing press, nakatulong siya sa pag-spread ng Renaissance. Kasi during that time, during that year, 1454, yan yung Renaissance period also. So malaki yung naging gampanin ng printing press to spread the Renaissance all over the world. Kasi yung Renaissance, if familiar kayo, yun yung time ng composers, ng mga philosophers, ng mga musician. So sila Aristotle, sino pa ba? Sila Michelangelo. So na-spread pa all around the world yung kanilang ideology dahil na-mass produce yung books at nadadala yan all around the world. Kaya yung parang ideologies nila kumalat hindi lamang sa ancient Rome or hindi lang sa Greece but all around the world. Tapos ito yung pinakamaganda, yung changing ng power balance. Kasi during ancient time, ang may kakayahan lamang mag-decide sa lipunan or sa society is yung mga nasa simbahan and yung nasa government. But because people are getting informed sa pagkakaroon ng access sa libro at sa schools, nagkaroon sila ng boses into certain issues or things na pinangungunahan ng simbahan. So nagkaroon sila ng laban, natuto sila na i-voice out yung kanilang disapproval or yung kanilang approval into certain things. Kaya yung churches at saka yung simbahan, yung churches at saka yung government, yung state, ay medyo na-lessen yung power kasi yung mga tao ay nagkakaroon sila ng opinion. And yung dalawang dyaryo na yan ay yung black and white, yun yung first ever newspaper na pinrovide ni Academe. Yan yung pinakang unang-unang accepted na dyaryo. Kasi yung Acta Diurna, although dyaryo siya, ginagamit siya to spread information, hindi siya ginagamit, hindi siya kinukonsider ng academe na first ever newspaper. But this one, it's a German language newspaper printed by Johann Carolus. So, ayan, yun yung parang nag-start siya mag-print noong 1605. Tapos onwards by Johann Carolus nga. Tapos ito naman isa, that is the oldest surviving daily newspaper. It's an Austrian newspaper. Actually, hindi rin namin alam kung paano siya bigkasin. Meron kaming naging parang nagbisita dito. Isa siyang Austrian, kaya siya na-pronounce niya. Pero ang hirap pa rin i-pronounce. But anyway, ayan. So, ito, 1703 siya nag-start magprinta ng dyaryo. Up until now, it's still printing newspapers. And nag-kinikater pa rin niya yung mga masa. So meanwhile, here in the Philippines, we also have first ever newspaper. So yung unang-unang dyaryo natin is yung Del Superior Gobierno. So if we're going back to our history, we're being colonized by Spaniards for almost 300 years. And yung 300 years na yun, naging malaki yung ambag ng Spanish in the history of information. So sino yung familiar sa Gobernador General? So, di ba yung Gobernador General, sila yung parang acting president during Spanish era. So, sila din yung acting editor-in-chief ng Del Superior Gobierno. Kaya ang nangyari, sa Del Superior Gobierno, parang propaganda articles lang yung nilalabas. Bawal ka maglabas ng against Spanish. And also, ang language niyan is written by Spanish language. Kaya mostly ang kinikater niya is yung mga Spanish people that are living here in the Philippines. There's a lot of articles pertaining to the Philippines na nakapaloob dyan, but it was written in Spanish word nga, kaya hindi din maiintindihan ng mga ordinaryong Pilipino. And for me, I don't think it's a newspaper kasi hindi naman siya, kasi yung pag sinabi natin newspaper, dapat yan ay ang pinagsisilbihan yan yung masa. Dapat nagbe-benefit yung bawat isa. Pero this one, it benefited only the Spaniard, not the Filipino people. So, on this side naman, yan si Marcelo H. del Pilar at si Pascual Poblete. So, kilala niyo ba si Marcelo H. del Pilar? Si Pascual Poblete?
Hindi.
So, ngayon, actually, lately ko lang din siya narinig. So, hindi ko rin siya kalala. Si Pascual Poblete, siya ang nag-translate ng Noli Me Tangere ni Jose Rizal sa Tagalog language. Tapos si Marcelo H. del Pilar, kilala naman natin siya. Isa siyang bayani. And sila yung nagtatag ng Dyaryong Tagalog. So, Dyaryong Tagalog was led by these two persons. So, si Marcelo H. del Pilar, siya yung nagsusulat ng Spanish language or Spanish section ng Dyaryong Tagalog, while Pascual Poblete writes the Tagalog section of Dyaryong Tagalog. So, si Marcelo H. del Pilar kasi, baka hindi natin alam, siya ay mayaman. Kumbaga kahit ordinary, against siya sa Kastila, siya ay mayaman at naipadala siya sa Spanish during his time to further hold his studies. Kaya ang language na ginagamit niya ay Spanish. Tapos si Pascual Poblete ay talaga siya, parang Pilipino. So, although may alam siya sa Spanish, pero mas prefer niya yung Tagalog language. Kaya sila, si Marcelo H. del Pilar, tinaguri ang father of Filipino newspaper, si Pascual Poblete naman ay father of Tagalog newspaper. So, sino yung nakakita na ng dyaryo? Ayun, very good. Yay! Ang dami. So, ayan, if any one of you haven't seen the newspaper yet, so here's what it looks like. So, yan yung newspaper. So, sa dyaryo, hindi lang siya laging patayan, laging about kay Sara Duterte at kay BBM, hindi laging ganon. So we have different sections that you guys can enjoy. So if you love sports, then we have sports section. If you have artista, we have entertainment. If you have fashion or you love cooking, we have lifestyle. So ayun, so marami siyang section na pwede ninyong basahin. And if meron kayong, for example, are you all journalists or part of campus journalism? Yan. So kapag meron kayong mga parang ina-aspire na mga riders. So, ayan, baka kabilang sila dyan isa sila sa mga nagsusulat dyan. So, pwede niyong basahin yung kanilang mga articles. So, unfortunately, this time, yung machine namin is not yet working. So, mag-start siya ng printing at siguro around 5 to 6 p.m. Kasi yung mga writers namin, kung nakita nyo kanina, yung dumaan na naka-pink, siya yung editor-in-chief namin, si Ma'am Ana Marie Pamintuan. So, ayan, pumapasok pa lang sila, kakadating-dating pa lang nila, so magsusulat pa lang sila ng balita. At yung mga balitang sinusulat nila, hindi naman yun agad-agad mapapublish, dadaan yun sa napakaraming kamay, dadaan yun sa proofreader, pag-approve ni proofreader, dadaan sa associate, dadaan sa desk editor, pag okay sa desk editor, associate editor, managing editor, tapos last final batch is si Ma'am Ana Marie Pamintuan. Pag okay na kay Ma'am Ana Marie, tsaka lang po yun dadalhin sa CTP department para gawan ng plate at i-print yung dyaryo. So, dahil hindi nyo naabutan yung pag-print, we prepared a short minute video on how meticulous the process of newspaper is. So, matututunan nyo dito kung gaano ba kahirap yung sinusuong araw-araw ng mga riders namin para makapag-provide ng isang magandang balita para sa bawat isa.
The newspaper remains to be the Filipinos' most trusted source of information. In this industry, one name shines the brightest. Printing our first issue on July 28, 1986, our founders, Benito Belmonte, Matt Sullivan, and Art Portal brought to establish a newspaper rooted in truth, justice, and freedom. The Philippine Star would be an instrument of nation building. Since then, the Star has grown into a multimedia company with a vast audience across various titles, while staying true to the values upon which the newspaper was founded. Every day, the Philippine Star produces more than hundreds of thousands of copies each day to ensure that readers get relevant news and information they can trust. Allow us to take you through the steps by which we document history as it unfolds every day through our pages. It all begins with the editorial team, the heart of our journalistic pursuit, as field reporters, journalists, and correspondents gather news on the ground, while keeping an eye on broadcast and social media feeds from other sources. Editors then check the day's story lineup and ferret out the most important news of the day. A story conference is where the news selection is made and debated upon by a team of journalists. During the story conference, they determine which reports are front page worthy, with the most important landing on the front page banner. The reports get synthesized and processed by a team of desk editors who review, fact check, and verify the stories for style and substance. How news is presented is just as important, and so equally crucial is the role of our layout team, who gets instructions from editors based on a dummy submitted by the advertising desk. The dummy gives the editors an idea of the available space where they can fit the content. Once the pages are laid out, proofreaders check for copy errors before editors revisit the pages for final editing. The editor-in-chief goes through the pages one last time before it goes to bed. The layouts are then sent for processing to the CTP, or computer-to-plate systems, which turn them into plates, ready for mounting on the presses to print. A single page requires 4 plates to produce if the photo is in full color. The plates then work in symphony with the presses to produce the finished product. Each tower contains a roller and newspaper that imprints the plate image onto large rolls of paper. We make sure to use recycled paper to help save the environment. After the last pages have rolled off the presses, the sections are gathered and bundled ready for distribution. Once ready, teams of dispatchers get ready to distribute the copies to waiting vehicles that will then bring hundreds of thousands of newspapers to their destinations throughout the country, whether by land, sea, or air. Once the copies reach their cities, newsboy carriers then follow through on the last stretch as they deliver the newspapers straight to our homes, offices, newsstands, or to convenience stores and other outlets. Each day, the team of the Philippine Star goes through this meticulous process to ensure that readers get access to news that matters every single day. Given the care, effort, and time we put into each daily edition, we hope you appreciate it by enjoying the Philippine Star daily from cover to cover.
So, why do we still need a newspaper? Bakit nga ba kailangan pa rin ng dyaryo? Makikita nyo naman na online or makikita nyo na sa mga digital devices nyo yung mga balita. So, kailangan natin ng dyaryo kasi it still stand to credibility and depth. So, yung mga journalists namin, pinapractice nila yung rigorous standard in terms of journalistic integrity. So, hindi sila pumapayag na parang, okay, pwede na to. So, hindi gano'n. Hindi sila nagpapapayag, hindi sila binabayaran. So, kung ano yung totoo, yun yung kailangan nilang ibigay. And aside to that, it still stand to accuracy. So, yung mga nababasa niyo kasi sa mga social media platform ninyo, baka hindi na yun na-verified or hindi siya na, kumbaga, pinost na lang ng walang verification na nangyari. So, sa newspaper, hindi pwedeng mangyari yun. Kasi once it printed, hindi na yan mawawala. So, magiging parte na yan ng kasaysayan. So, ayun. So, historical record siya. Kasi nga, kagaya na sinabi ko, hindi na yan mawawala. Magiging parte na yan ng kasaysayan. Kung mapapansin niyo yung mga lola natin, di ba? Pag naalala ko yung lola ko kasi parang Philippine veteran siya. So, every now and then, kailangan namin mag-picturean siya na hawak niya yung dyaryo para mapatunayan na buhay pa siya. Kasi kung hindi namin gagawin yan, mawawala yung pension niya. Tapos anyway, yan, journalistic integrity. So we help to battle misinformation or all around the Philippines or all around the globe. So yung mga, kasi pag online kasi, like sinabi ko sa inyo, madali siyang i-edit. So pag nagkamali ka, pwede mo yung edit dito Ora mismo may edit mo yan. Pero sa print, hindi mangyayari yan. Unless maglalabas ka ng public statement na mali yung nagawa mo, nagkaroon ng lapses dun sa na-print mo na article. So, ayun. Kaya mas trusted siya ng mga Pilipino kaysa sa digital platform. So, this is the example of fake news all around the globe. Kung mapapansin ninyo, parang totoo, mukhang legit, pero if you're going to read beyond the headline, diyan nalalabas yung pagiging fake news niya. So, kung babasahin natin yung headline, sinabi dito na, CDC study finds overwhelming majority of people getting coronavirus wore masks. So, sinabi na parang yung mga taong nagkakasakit daw or nakakakuha ng coronavirus ay yung mga nagsusuot ng mask, which is hindi naman yun totoo. So, ayan yun. So, ito naman yung fake news na nangyayari sa Pilipinas. So, ganun siya kalala. So, minsan, there are times na parang kahit yung kapatid ko, kahit ako na nagtatrabaho sa isang media outlet, nahihirapan mag-disseminate ng totoong balita sa hindi. So, like, sabi nga nung kapatid ko sa akin isang beses, sabi niya, parang mas mukha pa daw legit na balita yung fake news kaysa dun sa actual na balita talaga. So, which is true. Kaya ang hirap ngayon i-disseminate ng misinformation sa totoo. Wait lang. So, ayan. So, we will also giving you some key points on how to battle misinformation. So, number one, always check the date. Kasi kapag yung nabasa yung article online, tapos hindi nyo naman chinek yung date, pero shinare nyo siya agad. So, malay niya yung date, nangyari pa siya nung 1703 or nung before pa ipanganak si Jesus Christ. So, baka hindi na totoo yung balita na nabasa ninyo. Kasi tapos na. And read beyond the headline. Meron kasing mga article na pinapublish online na clickbait. So, pag sinabing clickbait, yun yung mga parang pag pinindot mo yung article, kumikita sila. So, yung headline mukhang totoo siya, pero pag binasa mo yung buong article, dun mo na mapapansin kasi yung grammar, yung error ng punctuation, so mali-mali na. And examine tools available. So, if you guys were like handling to choose kung totoo ba yung picture, tapos pwede kayong gumamit ng mga iba't ibang tools like yan, pwede kayong mag-factcheck.org or Pointer, tapos PolitiFact. Yan yung mga parang verification app na ginagamit to know if the pictures or the videos posted online are true or hindi siya edited. Or kahit sa mga articles, pwede nyo siyang gamitin. And consistency and quality. Yun nga, gaya nung sinabi ko kanina, kapag yung nabasa nyo online is wrong spelling, wrong grammar, tapos mali yung pagkakaglagay ng mga punctuation mark, so hindi yun totoong balita. Kasi yung mga journalist ay hindi basta standard yung meron sila sa paggagawa ng balita. So hindi lang sila basta journalist, sila ay mga practitioner sa field na yun. Kaya yung mga ganang errors ay hindi nila yun mapapalusot o hindi yun dadaan sa kanila. And yun, alamin nyo lagi yung mga sources ng balita, kung saan ba yun galing. So kung yan ay galing sa mga parang cryptic social media platform, yung parang mga, alam mo yun, yung mga may check na blue pero ang creepy tignan. So yun mga nag-share kasi yun ng mga fake news, so huwag nyo nang i-share. So kung nabasa nyo siya, huwag nyo na lang siyang i-share kasi lalo na yung mga fake news kasi minsan nakaka-cause sila ng harm at panic. So kapag kayong balita na share ninyo is misleading talaga, tapos pwede siyang maka-apekto dun sa nakabasa. So kung hindi naman legit yung sources nyo, huwag nyo siyang i-share. So legit lang yung sources kapag siya ay posted ng mga kilalang media establishment. For example, si GMA, ABS-CBN, Inquirer, Philippine Star, lalayo pa ba kayo? Tapos ayan, si Bulletin, si Manila Times, yan, sila yung makakapag-verify kung totoo yung balita. So dati naalala ko nung before hiwalayan nila Daniel Padilla at ni Catherine, meron nang lumalabas doon pa na hiwalay na yung dalawa. Pero yun, nung nabasa ko sa Star, ibig sabihin, verified siya, totoo siya. May mga ganon ha, na parang juicy, sobrang juicy nung balita. Mukha naman siyang totoo. Pero hanggang hindi siya verified, huwag niyo siyang i-share. At dito lang natin makukuha yung verification natin sa mga media outlet na to na established. Kaya yun, scrutinize lagi yung photos, video, or languages. So, ayun nga, pwede tayong gumamit ng mga tawag doon, yung mga tools na for verification para ma-scrutinize natin yung mga photos. Kasi minsan yung mga photo, di ba sila yung laging nagti-TikTok? Di ba sa TikTok sobrang talamak yung fake news? Kasi ang ginagawa nila, for example, ika-cut nila yung video para magmukhang totoo. Tapos yun lang yung ipopost nila. Siyempre, pag napanood mo nga naman yun, ay, si ganito pala oh. Nadapak na lang basta-basta. Pero hindi mo alam na before siya manakit, sinuntok din siya or whatever, ganun. Kasi nga, ginagawa nila, kinakat-cut nila yung video para yun ang magmukhang totoo. Yun, spreader ng mga disinformation. So this is spam. So, yung video na to is about being responsible on the things that you shared online. Kasi it's a collaboration into certain company kung saan merong isang empleyado na nanira ng kumpanya niya. Little did he know, yung company na yon ay gumawa ng action para matrack siya. Kasi lagi nyo tatandaan na yung mga pinopost natin online, whether it's deleted, whether it's edited, or whether labas ka na ng public apology kasi hindi tama yung ginawa mo, nag-iiwan yun ng digital footprint. And yung digital footprint na yun, hindi na yun mawawala. Kahit na i-delete mo yung video mo, i-edit mo yung caption mo, tapos mag-public apology ka, yung digital footprint, hindi na yun mawawala. So, it is a reminder that everyone parang will be responsible in their social media platform. Kahit ano yung, kahit tingin nyo maganda yung i-share nyo, pero iba yung naging natin. So, yan, magiging responsible kayo. Lahat ng sinishare natin ay may consequence talaga. So, play natin.
The internet is a universe of connections and possibilities. It's where we share the latest trends, celebrate each other's achievements, express our ideas, and even fall in love with adorable cat videos. It's our go-to spot for news, entertainment, and connecting with those who we care about, even if they're a world away. We share, we like, we comment, and in a moment, that reaches a wide audience. With a single click, we all can spread information and misinformation. Laws are in place to protect people from misinformation, be it fake news or malicious gossip. Even if you think you're doing it anonymously, you can be tracked down. Everything you do online leaves a digital footprint. The penalties can be huge, and sometimes it can even lead to jail time. The fallout can be harsh. And it's not just about legal consequences. It's also about the destruction of reputations, relationships. Lives can even be ruined, as lies can spread like wildfire. That's why we are calling on you, the digitally savvy generation, our generation, to uphold the culture of responsibility and truth online. We urge you to think before you click, to care before you share, and to verify before you spread anything online. Because each one of us has the power to shape the stories we tell. Let's share responsibly, promoting a digital world where truth thrives, misinformation dies, and everyone benefits. Together, we can create a safer, more informed, and more respectful digital space. Know truth, live truth, see truth always. Be a truth teller.
So, ayun. So, yung, ang alam ko, yung nag-spread ng malicious content na yun ay nakakulong na. So, hindi natin alam kung pinatawad ba siya o ano, basta nakulong siya. So, anyway, moving forward, so si Philippine Star, hindi na lang siya sa print lang nag-excel or nag-dominate. We also have different digital platforms. So, yung nasa taas, yan yung mga print namin, yung Philippine Star, Business World, Freeman, yung nasa Cebu, Banat, nasa Cebu din siya, Pangmasa, and yung Filipino Star na yun, yung mga tabloid namin. Tapos sa ilalim, yan yung mga digital namin. Yung Philstar Live, which is maganda, marirecommend ko siya sa inyo kasi yan ay para sa mga Gen Z. Tapos One News, Latest Chika, Philstar Tech for technology, yung One News yun, yung sa 7, if you guys are watching it. Baka napadadaanan nyo siya. Minsan kasi nagla-live sila. So, Latest Chika, kung mahilig kayo sa artista, yan. Property Report, yan yung sa property, Multiverse, sa sasakyan, yata. Basta sasakyan ka, kasama yung Wills PH, sasakyan din. Wait lang na, sorry. Ayan, so, sa Philippine Star, hindi lang pagiging journalist yung meron. So, maraming different careers na pwede din yung tahakin. So, if you guys were planning to work at a media industry, tapos ayaw nyo naman maging journalist o ayaw nyo kulin yung responsibilidad ng pagiging isang journalist, then we can offer you different careers. So, pwede kayong maging kagaya namin sa sales, pwede kayo sa marketing, sa events, pwede kayong videographer, pwede kayong photographer, or pwede kayong graphic artist if you guys had passion to create graphic arts. Tapos pwede rin kayo sa financial, meron kaming accounting, meron kaming cashier, and ayun, iba-iba kami dito, halo-halo na. So may HR. So ayan, you can follow us on Facebook. Hindi ko na napalitan, pero rediscover yung nakalagay. Pero ayan yung ano namin. i-search nyo lang yung Learn program. So kung meron kayong mga questions or what, so pwede nyo akong i-email sa jtvaldez@philstarmedia.com. So in case lang na, for example, ay gusto ni ate mag-intern sa Philippine Star, so pwede nyo siyang pa-email sa amin, or kung gusto nyo mag-tour ulit, so pwede, yan, email na lang kayo. So, before we go out, I'll give you a quick glimpse sa aming rediscover. Ito kasi rediscover room. Tapos, nilagay na lang dito yung ginamit namin nung anniversary. So, at the back is different newspapers printed way back. Parang,
Dito, pila na.
Video tulong. Ah! Excuse me. Ba't nagtitrim yung video?
Doon tayo. Nadawa ka lang.
Akala ko may umiihi. So I thought, what is that trajectory? So akala ko that was someone, and I said, damn, that's tall. And akala ko kasi, what is that trajectory?
Anong water? Para. Yan guys. Pauwi na kami guys.
Thank you, Ani. Thank you.
See? Right there. Philippine Star.
Ano?
5 songs.
Ay! Sunset to. Sino ba si ano? Sino si Poco? Si Poco. Poco ang J. Mag-block yun. Oh my gosh.
Expired po ba pa?
Yan ko yung biro. Hindi mo biro.
What are you doing?
This. Yo!
Yeah!
Hello, somebody.
I can hear you.
Where's my...
And where is the airphone?
Bagay yung music.
Here's the airphone. Gacha life.
Oh my God!
What yung gacha life?
He's a gacha kid. Oh my God, Mario Kart.
Parang
Mario Kart.
Is that your phone?
Hindi na siya Mario Kart.
Ikaw na kasi hot.
Mario Kart. Why is this phone always running?
Uy, mama ko yan
Wala na yan. Hello, ba't may sasabihin?
Makarating tayo sa school mga 7 or 6:30. Sabay natin ng traffic. 5 o'clock na.
Gali. Guys, sige ka, guli. Ay, patingin! Ay, babahan nyo nga No! Yan! Sao ko yan eh. Lahat na lang. Ay, guli. Para lumabing.
Now my question has been answered. It doesn't smell like dog. The printing area doesn't smell like dog.
Grabe ang lamig. It's just okay. May dagdag ka sa problema.
So it's like paper. But it does smell like.
Oh, lumamig.
So what if they actually use
It's like a villager dying. Mga ship na dito. Ang ship ko, sino dito?